With over 43,000 employees working across 400 branded companies, the Virgin family is one that's grown up very close to its founding father. But with over 40 years at the helm, what could a future without its captain look like? I met with Virgin's Group CMO Ian Rowden at their Galactic office and found out what happens when Big Rich steps down.
It's something that's definitely on our agenda, and I say that because it just should be. At some point, Richard will either elect to want to step back more from the business, because he just will, or at some point we're going to have in place a mechanism whereby the Virgin brand, as it has been created and as we are creating it, can not only go on but can thrive as the Virgin brand. We have put in place in the last 2 years specifically, and in fact when I was brought into this role, one of the clear first assignments for me was to understand firstly the brand as it is today and as it's been created, and then to codify in a way all of the things that make this brand really special and codify that internally so that all of our companies as they currently exist, or any companies that we create going forward, have a blueprint that they can work with that is all about the Virgin brand. Now, is a lot of what that is what has been created by Richard himself? Of course. It's also a lot of what's been created through the experiences and through the knowledge of each of our current Virgin companies. So we have created a very simple way that we can manage both the sort of brand ambition, the values of the brand, what the brand promise is, and so that we can bring that to life consistently in the absence of Richard. Brought to life powerfully with Richard here, but acknowledging that at some point the Virgin brand's going to have to operate in its own way, off its own philosophy. And so we spent a lot of time getting that in place and institutionalizing that across the companies that we operate, which is really exciting because it kind of frees everybody up in a way. It takes the sort of beauty of what the brand is, which is innately inside the sort of heart and mind of Richard originally, and puts it out in a way in which everybody can look at it and go, oh wow, I really get this now, and this is exciting, and we can deliver on this. I've seen this happen, and I've seen what has to be put in place to make sure that things can operate the way they should be. So we've done that. And it's a really important part of both the sort of history of the brand and the culture of the brand, and on the other hand, the way in which we think about the philosophy around our people, because this brand has always been about people.
From the people to the philosophy, I asked Ian what that brand blueprint looks like today.
The process we went through, which kind of basically took a year, was we created an internal process that was led by a team of people that enabled people from all over our Virgin enterprise, so all of our operating companies, to collaborate and to have conversations around what they knew, they understood, and they believed the Virgin brand to be. And it was a time-consuming process. But what we got along the way was we built a community of thousands of people who had contributed, who felt that they were, part of a process that was going to be very important to the future of the company, and that they believed in. It's a concept that's built around the idea of don't just play the game, change it for good, because that's what Virgin companies do. They don't just play like everyone else. They change things for the better. And through that, we've expressed it in a number of values that are unique to the Virgin brand. And then we've expressed that with an ambition, with a very clear brand ambition, which is not to be the biggest brand or the world's best known brand, but to be the most irresistible brand in the world. And we love the idea of irresistibility because it's energetic and it's magnetic and it's got appeal and it's very Virgin, right? It's just, in a way, it's a very humble thing to say. We want to create a brand and businesses that people love and that they find irresistible. And we've got our own unique tone and voice in the way in which we do that. And so that's really all it is. It's a very, very straightforward, easy to understand, and very easy to enact brand philosophy that represents the great complexity that is the Virgin brand.